since Ultimate came out already.
Right, and especially in doubles, it's difficult to see like what is going on. Like it's for the unexperienced eye, it's difficult to see what's going on, especially analyze what's happening. But we're in the first match. As I said, it's Larry and Incineroar versus Wario and Snake. So,
what are your expectations actually on this matchup? If you look at it,
it's difficult to say, right? Because Incineroar and Larry, those are not characters you see really often, but there's an SD by Snake already in the early game. That's harsh. But I do think Incineroar in doubles is like quite a bit stronger than in singles, and I know how good this Larry actually plays. So I think they might have an edge here.
Well, Snake, of course, usually has a great recovery. Unfortunately, we just then saw the SD there.
Right.
But often, characters that are worse in singles are often overlooked in doubles. I mean, Ganon is one of those characters as well that's often overlooked. I mean, he's not top tier. I'm gonna tell you that. But in doubles, he can do damage like
and he just doesn't die, right? I had the same problem against the Bowser earlier. Like, he's just so heavy, and Ganon just the same. They don't die early, and that's really something you need in doubles. But yeah, they're clearing their stocks currently, so they're rough lead.
And that's actually really smart by Incineroar, trying to time throws away, so Larry could actually use the back air there.
Right. They're always throwing like their enemies into each other as well, which you need to do in doubles, of course. But they're just doing it at a high level, really efficient. At least that's what I realized when I played against them.
Well, personally, I think having Snake and doubles around is actually really effective because he can control the stage with his projectiles a lot. He has like the mines, he has the grenades. So even when you're trying to get rid of him, he can just blow himself up and get back. Even though it does add damage to him, securing, of course, his own stock gives him the advantage to make a comeback.
I mean, they could still do it, but it's going to be difficult. It's going to be really difficult. The thing with Snake is, though, since you mentioned him, we've seen a lot of Snakes in the top 8 now, right? Like, at least 2 or 3. There's a few Snake players. I think it's the most represented character right now in doubles.
Well, can you actually blame it? Have you played Metal Gear Solid?
I actually did, and I cannot blame them at all. It's a good series, and it's a good character here, especially as we see now the Rocket is just, well, okay, it didn't work out there, but the Rocket side piece is just really good at covering any recovery. And even if you recover to stage, it's probably just going to get you. But now, as I said, they're really good in a team. I don't think this is the first time teaming yet.
No, you can definitely notice how they're adapting to each other.
Right.
Synchronizing throws, synchronizing attacks. Like if Incineroar is doing a forward air, the Larry is already ready, trying to use an up air afterwards, for example.
Right.
Still, this Wario though, it's of course Mundo. He knows how to play Wario. He's been doing that for ages.
Right, and earlier in the last match against Loading and Paint, he was alone against both of them, and Loading and Paint are not to be underestimated, right?
Yeah, of course.
And he held up so well, but goes down here sadly to the up air.
Yeah, that up air from Incineroar is just insane. There's this guy in our area, he's called Merdan, and he plays a really mean Incineroar. Big aims, actually.
Yes. Especially in the Dutch scene, as far as I'm concerned.
If you look at it in competitive, and we're starting actually in a match.
So we see the same teams, but different stage this time.
Well, I actually agree on this stage. It has different types of blast zones, of course, compared to the previous one.
Right.
That, of course, is a really good excuse if you don't know what the sizes are compared to the other blast zones. Being exposed.
Right.
No, but for real though, this stage is actually pretty neutral. It has, like you see, actually 2 platforms instead of 3.
Right.
So it gives you different options how to get back to the stage compared to, like, let's say Battlefield, where you usually get back to the sides.
Right. I've also actually seen a lot of Snake players going here for some reason. I'm not too much, my knowledge on Snake isn't too big, but that's what I've seen.
Well, what you're going to notice is that Snake actually tries to keep his distance and uses his projectiles. I mean, that's basically what he's known for. So he can go for an easy edge guard because he has this really huge recovery that goes for him. And Larry actually trying to, of course, use a back air there, trying to get the high recovery from Snake.
Right. But you cannot leave Snake alone, right? He's just...
You can't leave him alone.
It's
He's going
not
to try to manipulate the stage. It's a trapper type character.
Right.
So
he's
if
like
you're
one of the best in that.
if you're actually familiar with different archetypes of characters, you know, like a brawler, a grappler, then Snake is basically a trapper. And of course, that was a very unfortunate SD by
Yes.
Snake again.
But it would have been masterful if he tagged it, because who would have tagged that, really?
You're not expecting that at some point. Ooh, oh, the neutral
damn.
B by Incineroar.
It's
Literally,
such an underestimated attack.
it's a get off me move. It's
Right.
like I'm in the middle of something. Let me just get away from everything.
I remember that the River told me in a tournament once, someone used Incineroar and just used neutral B so often that the crowd just started using shouting B the whole time. Every time he used it, the crowd was just cheering for it.
Well, actually, that same thing happened over here as well.
Really?
Yeah, it's now a meme. His name is not Incineroar. His name is now or whatever sound he makes when he presses neutral B.
That's beautiful. All right, we're having yet again an early lead. Even a hold stop lead. I realized that earlier. Bowser Jr. is not to be underestimated when it comes to being heavy and being alive for long times.
Well, when you play, the game is like literally 3 months old, and when you've played Smash 4 for like that many years, and you look at Bowser Jr., there's bound to be some things you're going to underestimate or forget or not expect, which have changed, of course, in Ultimate.
Correct.
Even though the play style is mostly similar, it has, of course, now better hitboxes and more buffs, so he can auto-cancel more of his moves. As far as I'm concerned, his neutral air is actually now a lot better.
Yeah, of course. But some people in the beginning of the game said that Bowser Jr. is probably going to be one of the bottom tier characters. Which I could see to a certain degree, but at the same time, he has so many options now. And I don't know, do you know if he was actually patched in the recent patch? Is he changed?
Most of his aerials actually got altered as far as I'm aware. That was actually a really nice play by Incineroar just now. He actually, like we mentioned, timing the throws is of course one of the basic things. Like you see here, he's actually trying to do that, but Snake was just quick enough to stop the Larry, of course.
Right. Oftentimes, the Incineroar player here uses the forward throw to get an enemy away from him as well. It's the same as Mario's back throw. You just hit one person with another person. And that's
we need to be careful. We need to be careful. Mundo has the waft ready. Of course, that's a very big tool to use, a great comeback ability. But Larry, of course, has 2 stocks remaining, so it's going to be very dangerous to use it.
Right.
But he only has 33% so far, so he can definitely make it work. I mean, he just needs to get rid of Larry, then get rid of Incineroar, and he has a 1v1 ready.
Correct, and like he can get rid of Incineroar already with a waft. And we have Larry at 100%, singing 100%. That's pretty easy to kill as well.
Of course, he's not wasting it. He knows the situation he's in. He wants that waft to make the comeback happen.
Of course, he's to keep him unpunishable there.
And he's being very cautious of Incineroar. Incineroar, of course, has this massive damage potential. As you can see here, just the quick attacks, and he's already on 81%.
It wasn't enough.
It was almost enough.
Yeah, it was really close.
Of course, this was one of the moments where Incineroar wasn't buffed. Then Incineroar would have died. Oh, this is they missed the opportunity.
Yeah. Oh,
that was
the back air is going to take it, though.
Yeah, the back air.
The back air made it.
That was such a great punish opportunity.
Right.
And he still missed it, though. I mean, it's pretty uncommon to see punishes being missed at levels like these.